Big Boof Bets. It's the Get That Money podcast. I am Nate Stevenson, and as always, I am joined by Mr. Big Boofy Skirman and Mr. Tony T-Bone Guarino. It is, I'm trying to think of a way to say it so I don't get sued, the Pro Football Championship podcast.
Yay!
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, the big game, Nate. The big game.
I feel like they copyrighted Big Game too.
Well, they say it all the time on the radio, so
yeah, I think the big game is still fair, free property.
Okay, well, that's a surprising thing, but okay, we'll go with that. Big Game. It's the Big Game podcast. Let's go. How you guys doing?
pretty good, man. You know, I had my own personal bye week here, obviously, which kind of sucked. I did some house cleaning instead of watching football, which I know we kind of joked around about the other day. But we're ready for the big game picks here. The episode's going to be a little bit different this week. Obviously, one game here. So we're going to give our usual picks, but we're going to dive into a couple extra ones here. And I know Tone always has an interesting one pertaining to the national anthem. So stay tuned.
Yes, definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what makes this simultaneously my favorite and my least favorite week of the year. Favorite, obviously, because it is the big game, and I mean, there's not anything bad about that. Everything to get excited about. I mean, this is the best of the best. We look forward to this every year. Old goat and the baby goat, as they've been dubbing it. I think that's actually been put out there in the marketing. I don't know if you saw that. It's the goat versus the kid, which is obviously a play on a baby goat, is called a kid. Anyways, how about that?
People are genius.
Yes, but it's also the worst week because football's over after this Sunday, which is for the next 5 or 6 months or so. And if my NHL betting is any indicator of how my off season is going to go, then it is an even more depressing week.
Yeah, I hear you on that, Tone. I've already dove into the other football a little bit, as Boof knows I want to do sometimes, and a little bit of NBA. So who knows? Maybe I'll just become a footy and an NBA sharp as well. So who knows? Maybe we'll just start another podcast, and you can be the NHL sharp. So keep making that money, right?
I'll just be a loyal listener.
More like an NHL doll at this point, but I'll work on getting there.
Hey, baby. Let's get that money. Speaking of getting that money, how about we recap last week's before we give you some juicy stuff for this week? What do you say, Boof?
Well, we did not have any locks, and I'm glad we went that way because our leans would have gone 1-1, or at least my leans would have gone 1-1. Nate's leans would have gone 0-2. So our lock record for the year remains 95, 80, and 7 with a 54.29% success rate. And our props went a poopy 7-10, bringing us to 195 and 169 on the year with a 53.57% success rate. Bring on the big game.
All right. Well, then without further ado, let's just jump into it. Your Sundays. Big game, pro football championship game, all the other words you want to call it, matchup will be the Kansas City Chiefs at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I guess. I don't know. There's a home team.
I believe they technically are the home team.
I guess this time, I was just going to say, this is like double home inception. So we have the Kansas City Chiefs double at the home of Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Chiefs laying 3 and your over-under at 56.5.
Chiefs! That's it. I'm done. End the episode right now.
Wasn't ever in doubt.
End the episode right now. That's all you need to hear. Chiefs, -3. Pat Mahomes, Super Bowl MVP. That's it. Lock him in. Bet your house on it. All right, guys. Good episode. See you later. You know I got more, Boof, but just go ahead. Go ahead. You go first.
All right. I also like the Chiefs. In the first game, it's kind of interesting how it played out between these two guys because the Chiefs really whooped them, but the final was only 27-24. And if you recall, that was the game where I believe Mahomes had like 400 yards in the first half. It was the Tyreek Hill game where he had 269, I believe. And the Chiefs jumped on him early, and they were kicking their butt, and they kind of took their foot off the gas. And Tampa Bay cut a 17-point deficit down to 3 in the fourth quarter. And it was kind of a garbage time backdoor action on them. So in that sense, if you're looking at it like that, like, maybe you like Tampa Bay, or maybe you want to stick around for it to get up to plus 3.5, which I've seen at different points throughout the past week. And maybe you would want to take it there. But this is the Super Bowl. I mean, the Chiefs during the regular season, it really looked like they had a tendency to flip the switch on and off. I don't see that happening. I expect them to have the switch on from start to finish. And they've just looked completely unstoppable in these 2 weeks in the playoffs when Patrick Mahomes is in there. And I think they had one punt, and it was just the first possession of the Bills game. And other than that, they have not punted when Mahomes is in. And most of these drives are ended in touchdowns. Hill and Kelsey seem like they are unguardable. I am concerned about their 2 tackles not playing, but I'm not concerned enough for it to scare me off the pick. I love the Chiefs -3. And furthermore, I like the over 56 was the best line I was able to find as far as if you wanted to take an over. Now, again, if you look at the first game, they the total of that game only hit 51. And it's kind of like, well, if they scored, or if they had all those yards and we only made it to 51, like, how do we expect to get more? Well, Tampa Bay didn't really score at all in the first half, and they were kind of a lot more inconsistent in the first half of the season. And I do think they're playing a lot better football now. It seems like they have fixed a lot of their protection issues, and I think that is directly correlated to an increase of offensive production for them. And again, I think the Chiefs took their foot off the gas in the second half. So I expect the Chiefs to score more in the second half, and I expect Tampa Bay to score more in the first half, thus leaning itself towards an over kind of game. So my 2 picks are Chiefs -3 and over 56.
Well, before we get too much farther into this, Boof, I will say I agree with you on Chiefs -3. Disagree with you on the total. So you wanna lock the Chiefs and Pizza Box total, baby?
I mean, there's only one way to finish the year, baby. You got to have a lock and a box.
I like it. Lock it in. Get that money.
Let's do it.
Chiefs -3, and we pizza box in the total. Over 56 for Boof, under 56 for me.
Got some pizza she saw. 2 big pizzas that'll fill your jaw. Pizza, pizza.
Pizza, pizza.
Yeah. Pizza, pizza. Pizza, pizza.
Pizza, pizza.
Pizza, pizza.
Pizza, pizza.
Now we got all that out of the way. Definitely have some more things I want to say about this game. Boof, definitely you hit on a lot of them with what happened in the first game. Mahomes, actually, I'm not sure what he had at the half, but he did finish with 462 yards passing, and he went 37 of 49 for 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And Tyreek, let me double check here. Tyreek, 13 catches, 269 receiving, 3 touchdowns. I mean, those are pretty good days for both of those guys. So I definitely like another good day from the Chiefs offense. I expect a better showing in totality from the Buccaneers offense, but there's a crazy statistic I heard about Brady-led teams in the Super Bowl. His first 9 Super Bowl appearances.
Can we pause for a second? Can we appreciate that is just the beginning of a stat that's about to hit you here?
Oh, this
a man's first 9 Super Bowls.
I mean, you're right. Like, that's just
Sorry to interrupt. We just appreciate that.
You're very true. Like, that's the fact that's not even the stat. That's the start. That's the lead into the stat.
Yeah.
The first 9 times he was in the Super Bowl. I mean, he won 6 of them, by the way. Everybody knows that. He's just about to just build on his insane record. And now he's supposedly going to play until he's 50 now. So just, make more records. Brady's going to be the first person to get to 100,000 yards passing if he keeps going. Like, seriously, if he plays till he's 50, he might do that. That's nuts. But anyway, I'm sorry, getting off track. The big thing I was getting at, Brady's first 9 Super Bowl appearances. His teams have scored a grand total of 3 points in the first quarter. That is 3 total points in the first quarter combined, his first 9 Super Bowls. Brady-led teams start slow. And Super Bowls as a whole, there tends to be a feeling out process in the first quarter. So you combine that with the fact that the Buccaneers started slow the first time they played the Chiefs. And then you have all that history with Brady. I don't expect the Buccaneers to start fast, or even with the lead. That is going to play a huge role into a lot of other bets I make and a lot of prop bets and what have you. Because in my opinion, considering how the Chiefs are and how they played the Buccaneers the first time, they already have an advantage. So I like the Chiefs to score first. We obviously like the Chiefs to win. So score first and win prop, I like that a lot. That's plus money. I like the Chiefs to obviously be winning at the end of the first quarter. Again, a lot of data behind that. And also I like under 10.5 points in the first quarter. When the Chiefs played in the Super Bowl last year against the Niners, it was 7-3. Obviously that's under 10.5. And we're expecting a slow start from the Buccaneers. And honestly, a slow start for the Chiefs is a touchdown or less. An average start for them is a touchdown. Less than that's less, obviously. So I think under 10.5 points is a good call. Those are a couple things I like. But there was, as Boofy said, there was a lot of offense in this game before. I just think the Chiefs have already shown they know how to torch a Tampa Bay-led defense and that they can do enough to slow Tom Brady down. And that just, that just further backs up why I also am in pure agreement with the Chiefs -3. And I like the under 56 because going back to what I said about the slow start, when you're hitting an over or an under, the first quarter or two of the game plays a big role in determining if you're going to go over or under. And if you start slow, you normally have to have something happen or several things happen during the game to catch up if you're trying to hit an over. Whereas if you start slow and you already have the under, this is great, because then you just watch that live total just drop. And then if you really want to, then you can just, if it drops low enough, then you bang it when it's at a lower number on the overside, and then you middle the bet and you potentially could win both. So that's definitely something I like to do, live betting strategy. But those are just a few extra points I wanted to throw out there. I guess before we start to really dive into more of these props, Boof, I agree with you. I heard you say about both the Chiefs tackles being out. That is a big deal. And I think that's one of those things where that could be a pro and a con for the Chiefs, if there is such a thing, because obviously it's going to affect how they call the game. But Andy Reid has shown to have a great talent to be able to get the most out of his talent, which he certainly has a lot. And I expect him to call a game and have a game plan that's going to feature that patented Chiefs aggressiveness and scoring, but yet at the same time take care of Mr. Pat Mahomes. Now on the flip side, since they are missing both their tackles, they're facing 2 elite pass rushers. I think that's going to flush Pat Mahomes out of the pocket more sometimes, which even with that bad toe, he's still shown he can run some. And at 19.5 rushing yards, that's where the rushing prop is for him right now. I think the over is a good call on that too. So that's definitely another prop that I really like. But as far as the breakdown of the game, that's really where I'm at. I definitely feel confident in the Chiefs winning back-to-back championships here, Chief.
Yeah, with you on that part.
So with that, Tone, do you have anything to add?
Props to you as well. Of course I have something to add. Like I said, that's my favorite game of the year for one particular reason, and that's just to get weird. And we all know I like to get weird, so I'll get into it and start off with my favorite big game bet every year, which is the over-under length of the national anthem. This year, you have to look around for this one, by the way. This isn't something that you're going to find on your sort of FanDuel and DraftKings books. Like you'll have to search a little deeper on your books to find a lot of these weird ones. But if you find them, they're sure fun to put in on. Anyways, out there right now, the consensus line for the national anthem is around 1 minute and 59 seconds, which is close to what the average is. The average time for the national anthem is, I think, around 1 minute 56 seconds. So you can see the books kind of keep that tight on that line. So worth noting this year, the anthem is going to be a duet. It is Eric Church and I'm going to get her name wrong. Jasmine. It's Jasmine Sullivan. There we go. See that? I just pulled that out of nowhere. I still have a little bit of memory left. So as a duet, you kind of get the vibes of there's a lean towards an over. I mean, you got two people now trying to figure this thing out together. Who's taking what parts. I mean, I know they do it all ahead of time, but it's it's a little less easy to put things together in a more streamlined fashion. You factor in harmonies and things like that. Singers tend to take their times on harmonies. And on top of that, Eric Church, he's a guitar player. So, he typically is singing songs while playing his guitar. So you can expect that to happen too. We had an instrument. Instrument usually pushes towards the over as well. So, all things tend to lean towards the over. There's a bit of data that Jasmine has done 2 solo national anthems on her own for NHL and NBA. Both of hers went comfortably under 1 minute and 50 seconds. They were around the 1 minute and 40 mark, actually. But again, take that with a grain of salt. That's her solo, not duet, not with Eric Church with a guitar. And on top of that, the national anthem length has gone over 1 minute and 56 seconds in 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls. So we're at 59, but still, I mean, that's pretty close. The only thing you got to watch out for is whatever book you find this bet on, you want to make sure you clearly read the terms of the bet on whether it is the bet of the length from first word sung to last word sung, or beginning of anthem to end of anthem, because that does make a difference. Books will get you on that. For example, the ones that are first word sung to last word sung, when they start the word brave at the end, just brr, before they hit the whole brave, that ends the bet. So there was controversy.
So sorry to interrupt you, Tony. If it goes, so if I hold like hum of the brave, like if you hold the brave, it goes from the start of the word brave, not from when
start of the last word. If it's termed that way, that's why you have to watch the terms. There's the bet term.
Interesting.
That's sneaky.
Yeah. So if that's the case, then of course you got to look at the under, because I mean you're really shortening the time, and depending on what they put the line in. But there was controversy with that years ago. I think it was Aretha Franklin or that might have done it, and she sang brave like 3 times. Like she said, like brave and like brave and brave. And people thought they crushed the over because she hit 3 braves and it was like 2 minutes and 10 seconds or something. But it turned out that the books were like, nope, she said brave at this time, and they counted it from the first brave that she said. Way. Yeah, so I mean, you do got to watch out for that. I mean, we're playing in the market of the weird here, right? I mean, we got to expect weird things like that to happen. But it's just one of those fun things. It just adds a little bit of ridiculous fun. I mean, the only other one that I really love is what color the Gatorade's going to be that they dump on the coach at the end of the game. I mean, how do you not love that, right? And I mean, I think you got to roll orange. Orange is the predominant color. Right. It's the most popular Gatorade color of all NFL teams on the sidelines. The Chiefs and their Super Bowl victory last year, you thought it would be red for the team, but no, it was orange. They dumped orange on Andy Reid last year. And actually, it's not terrible. You're still getting a plus 150 on orange.
I was just going to ask, what's the payout?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, you're still getting plus money, and orange is the most popular. That seems like a best bet all day to me. And fellas, that's all I got in the weird this year.
Oh, that's excellent tips there.
Oh, lock it in, get that money, baby.
It's getting weird.
Why don't you bring it back to the normal for me now?
All right, yeah, I definitely have tons of stuff here. I know we talked about just unveiling everything official on the podcast here, but not everything is out yet. So it's just kind of definitely want to talk about some stuff that I like. Boof has a few things as well, and we'll go from there. So real quick, I'll try to get through all these. Tom Brady over 296.5 passing. He went for over 300 last game. It was 345. Pat Mahomes over 329.5. He went for 462 last time against the Buccaneers. Ronald Jones over 35.5 rushing yards. He went for 9 for 66, I believe, last time against the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes over 19.5 rushing. We already touched on that. An interesting one I like. Brady over a half a yard rushing for plus money. And there's also another prop for Brady's first rush that's over a half a yard rushing. That is either even or plus money. It doesn't really make complete sense to me why it would be that much less. But like Brady doesn't run, and normally he does. He does his thing with the quarterback sneak. He's money on it. It's basically, do we think Brady's going to do a quarterback sneak? Yes or no? So, and you're getting plus money on that. I like that. Scotty Miller over 20.5 yards receiving. I mean, AB's banged up. Evans is banged up. I just, the Chiefs defense is not an elite defense. So 20.5 receiving yards to Scotty Miller. I like that. Gronk over 31.5 yards, over 31.5 yards receiving. He went for over 100 the last time these two teams played. I like that. Chris Godwin, 73.5 over on that receiving total. I like that as well. Godwin actually had 8 for 97 the last time against the Chiefs. And Cameron Brate over 30.5 yards receiving. He actually had 4 for 34 last time against the Chiefs, and he has been featured more prominently in recent weeks in the Buccaneers passing game. So that's something I like a lot as well. And just to get into the weird stuff here a little bit, or weirder, not quite as weird as your stuff, Tone, but Patrick Mahomes over 40.5 for his longest pass. I mean, with how Tyreek was just busting off long ones against them the last time, I think that's a decent one. Ronald Jones over 8.5 rushing attempts. I do believe that he will hit the over. He had 9 last time against the Chiefs, and he's been looking very explosive the last couple playoff games. Tampa Bay has also been running the ball more. And Travis Kelce over 7.5 receptions. He had 8 for 82 last time these two teams played, and he's been money over that number for, my God, I feel like it's been almost 2 months straight. Maybe one time he's missed that. And Chris Godwin already touched on that. On his previous reception total, they have him at 5.5. I think that's an easy over. Gronk over 2.5 receptions, like that. Scotty Miller over 1.5 receptions, like that. And we already touched on the first quarter stuff. Super Bowl MVP. If you want to hedge your bets here a little bit, basically, whichever team is going to win, it's most likely the quarterback is going to be the MVP. Patrick Mahomes is going off currently at minus 105, so just slightly under even money. Tom Brady is currently plus 200, so he is paying 2-1. You can handle this one of two ways. If you really believe the Chiefs are going to win, then just put all your money on Pat Mahomes. If you want to hedge your bet and make sure you basically either win money or don't lose money, then you put a unit on both of them. Because if Tampa Bay does win, that means Brady's most likely going to be the MVP. You're going to win a unit on that. And you're going to win 2 units on that. And that means you'd still lose a unit for Patrick Mahomes' bet, but you'd still be plus a unit. Conversely, obviously, if the Chiefs win, Mahomes will probably win the MVP. You'd basically just break even. So it's basically kind of like an insurance bet. It's almost like a double chance soccer bet, which I've gotten into more, Boof, as you know. So, and few more here, almost done, I promise. QB to be sacked first, Tom Brady. That is going off at even money. He's definitely way less mobile than Patrick Mahomes. And you have the way to get to Brady is pressure up the middle. And you have Chris Jones, who's just a beast. I expect him to do some damage. which, by the way, also love his prop for over 2.5 total tackles for the game, because even if he gets a sack or two, most likely to get a couple tackles as well. Like that over prop there. Tom Brady to throw a touchdown in the first quarter. No, it's minus 180, high on the juice, but you already heard my first quarter breakdown before. And Patrick Mahomes, throw a touchdown in the second quarter. Yes, because the Chiefs I believe the Chiefs are one of the best in the league at scoring points in the second quarter. And there's a lot more possessions in the second quarter with the end of the half and whatnot. So Patrick Mahomes throwing a touchdown in the second quarter. Love that. Also in the fourth quarter. And last play of the game to be a QB kneel. I like that. Yes. Any QB to pass for 400-plus yards. Yes. That's plus 250. Pat Mahomes threw for 462 last time. And let me see if we have any more. I don't want to go too much. I have a ton here I like. Total net yards over 799.5. We were way over that last time, Boof, were we not?
Passing alone, you were at over 800.
Yeah, that's a good one. And okay, last few here, because I could actually do more. It's just crazy. I had a ton I noted here. Pat Mahomes will throw for 2+ touchdowns and KC to win. That's minus 104. And then take it a step further. Mahomes will throw for 300+, KC to win, plus 146. And Pat Mahomes to throw for 3+ touchdowns and Chiefs to win, plus 200. That's about it. That's what I got. You got anything else, Tone or Boof?
All right, my personal favorite was just over 2.5 throwers of the football, which last year would have hit, but I believe it was San Francisco. Deebo Samuel had like a end-around pass that he decided to just run it. And in the previous game this year, Travis Kelce did have a pass attempt. It's already hit in this game. So I think that's it, guys. It's 2020. We got through the COVID season here, so I think that's awesome. Thank you, everybody, for being loyal listeners. And thank you for all of our less loyal listeners who only tune in every once in a while. We love you as well. The rest of our props and stuff will be posted on Twitter, so be sure to check out for that. And as always, best of luck to everybody, and let's get that money.
Oh, yeah. Get that money. Chiefs.